Hello.
Hello. Welcome back to Uncut and welcome back to another movie review. Today we have Sinners. This movie has been in theaters for a while now, about month and a half or so.
I think it's finally coming out of theaters because I
Yes.
saw something about it being on digital starting
In
June
June.
3rd,
Yep.
I think.
Or June 2nd.
Something like that.
But this movie, I mean, you know about this movie. I think it's, dare I say, the best movie of the year so
Yeah.
far. And I expect it to be the best movie of the year, period.
Mhm.
Mind you, there's a lot coming out. So that's still to be seen. But this movie was just absolutely amazing. People loved it. People called for it to come back to IMAX.
Yep.
IMAX was a whole different experience. We saw it in theaters twice, actually. One IMAX, one regular. We just had to show it to other people.
Yeah. No, we were absolutely obsessed with this film. It's one of those films where we end up looking at each other and we're like, cinema. Like we were just in love with it. Hence why we went back. We also missed like the first
5 minutes.
5 minutes, something like that on our first
Because
watch.
it was IMAX, packed theater, and they decided to start the movie like relatively on time for the first time, as opposed to a bunch of trailers.
I mean, mind you, again, I don't know if everybody in the audience here like goes to the movie theater a lot, but usually you can guarantee like another like a 15-20 minute buffer from the time on your movie ticket to when the movie starts. That time was significantly shortened when we went to see it the first time.
We're pretty confident. Then we go in and it's like, what is this? And Kaylin is like, this is a trailer. Can you not tell? I'm like, babe, I don't think it's a trailer.
Was dark. Like, I don't know why I was so sure it's clearly a trailer.
It kind of looked like a trailer.
Because it was a montage sequence that we walked into. So, of course, I was like, it's clearly a trailer.
But for reference is when the boy is picking and actually leaving the field. Mm-hmm. That's when we came into the theater.
Yeah, to go to see his dad at church.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Let me give you some background info, like basics. So this movie was directed by Ryan Coogler, which also directed Black Panther, Creed.
And has worked pretty much with Michael B. Jordan for a decade.
Exactly, because he's been in all of those productions as well. Writer is also Ryan Coogler, very personal to him. As I mentioned, there is Michael B. Jordan, but then we have Sammy Moore, which is played by Miles Caden. Caden? Yeah. Caden. Jack O'Connell, which plays Remick. Michael B. Jordan, which plays Smoke and Stack. Mm-hmm. And then we have Haley Steinfeld as Mary. Obviously, we have a bunch of other really cool characters like Cornbread, Annie. There is a really good set of people in this movie.
There's a really great cast of characters, and you really got to see them. Like, they were all fully fleshed out. Yeah. So, yeah, let's just quickly go over what the movie is about. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we're going to spoil it. We need to talk about everything about this movie. But the main gist of the movie, which I didn't realize watching the trailer, but it is a vampire movie. It is...
I knew that.
It is a genre horror film, but the trailer doesn't give away the vampires.
Somewhat, a little bit, not too much.
I felt like it didn't. I don't even know what I thought was happening with the trailer, but it looked interesting nonetheless. But they really didn't give away a whole lot in the trailer, which was very smart, because you were left really surprised and happy by the final product. But it is a vampire film. It is technically a horror film, although some people have said that it's only really scary at the very end.
Yeah, it becomes horror in the second half.
Yeah, but the main gist of the film, we have these two twins, Smoke, Stack, and they're coming back to town because they are going to open up a club.
They come from the big city. They kind of went out there.
But they're coming back to their hometown and opening up their own club.
It seems like they work for Al Capone.
Yes, and this is the 30s in Mississippi. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 30s Mississippi. So we have pretty strong racial segregation in that area. You see the Klan has a feature in the film. A lot of other racial tension that plays a big part of the film as well. But like I said, this is vampires, and our main vampire is Irish, which I thought was pretty cool.
Remick, yep.
But yeah, so they're opening up this club at the same time that a vampire comes to town and wants to have the crew join him in his vampiredom. But our main character is played by Miles Caton, who's just Sammy, and he wants to be a singer with his guitar.
Musician, yeah.
And that is kind of what brings upon a lot of what ends up happening as the vampire grows interested in him specifically.
So the movie actually starts with a little tale of how some music and musicians are so powerful that make you feel many different things and can bring upon the devil.
And so it said that they're so powerful that they can call upon the people of the past and of the future, so that
which
they're
is something
also
that we play
there
with
in the moment.
In the movie, if you know the scene, but we'll get to that.
Yes. So that's how we open up the movie. And music really is. It's not like a musical, but it is the driving force for these characters and what ends up happening.
And it's very important that this guy is so in love with music because as soon as we open the movie, we see his dad, which is the pastor in the church, saying, "Stop playing, come here to church. If you keep playing, the devil's going to follow you." Lo and behold, that is kind of what happens afterwards. As Remick tells us, you're the one that I heard from outside. I'm here for you.
Right.
And he's really like, I'm literally here just for you.
Yeah. Yeah. And I thought, obviously, because we missed the first chunk of the movie, we didn't see that and how that all connected. But it is really cool lore that we haven't really heard much of. Yeah,
mind you, they repeat that tale. I think at the in the middle when the magical scene happens.
Exactly, which again we'll touch on in a sec. What I do want to mention too is that the vampires, it's not like Twilight.
No,
it is
they don't
more
shine.
Traditional Dracula, can only come out at night, stab in the heart with a wooden stake. But there's still so much uniqueness in these vampires, specifically in the fact that they dance. And that
they're pretty happy.
They're very happy people.
They play music, they sing.
Yeah, there's many funny moments where you just cut over to the vampires, just having fun and kind of a bonfire of sorts.
But I think I want to touch on the introduction to the vampires, which is another really powerful scene in my eyes. Yeah. We see this house in the middle of nowhere that comes from a different scene. And it's kind of like a match cut almost, or a contrast cut or whatever. And this guy just jumps into frame and falls to the ground and stumbles into the house. And he's burnt. He's actively in pain, saying, "Let me in. These people want to kill me. Do you mind if I come in?"
Right.
They're like, "All right, come in, whatever." We find out these people are white supremacists. Yeah. And then he's let in. Then afterwards, Native Americans come, which I thought was really cool because they came and they knew exactly what was going on. Yep. And they left before sundown because they didn't want any trouble with the vampire.
It honestly, it feels so perfect that they were the first ones to pick up on the fact that there is this supernatural entity that is in the land, because they are so much more in tune with it and believe it. They don't have this ideology. They're like, oh no, that stuff doesn't exist. Yeah. No, they genuinely believe it. They can pick up when something's really wrong. And so I love how when they realize oh, they let the vampire into their home. Oh, look at the time. I guess we have to leave. And they're one of the only people that get out completely unscathed by the vampire at the end.
Yeah, because then the family lets them in are the first ones to go.
Yep.
And then we cut back to just the twins setting up their juke joint. and I'm actually having a good time.
Yeah.
A blast of a time. Like, a lot of the movie happens before we even get to the action.
Yeah, it was what, like 40 minutes? Maybe even more?
More than an hour.
Maybe like an hour, I guess, yeah, because you have all that buildup of them getting everybody
the
to
people
agree
together.
to come to the club, or getting employees to come to and work at the club. And then the actual club, we're there for quite a bit of the night before the vampires
The
come
scene
knocking.
happens before any action happens.
I guess we can talk about the scene now.
Is it time to get to the scene?
I think it's time. This is the perfect time to mention that we just interviewed one of the art directors on the film, Jesse Rosenthal. We are very excited for that interview to come up. We certainly learned so many cool behind-the-scenes info on this. But getting back to
that would be out
scene.
On Saturday the 31st. Back to the ethereal scene. In this scene, Sammy finally starts playing the guitar, and they introduce him being like, I've been hearing of this guy that is so good at blues. I want to see what he has to offer. And he starts telling us this story on his song about how he kind of lied to his dad and his love for music. And it just starts going absolutely insane, because all of a sudden we got dancers, we got people with drums, and I think we're kind of like in the past at this moment, but then all of a sudden we get someone dancing breakdance.
Yeah, it all ties back into what we were saying at the beginning of how musicians can call upon spirits of the past and the future, and they really truly present themselves in this scene. Something that we did already kind of know, but I'll mention this because we talked about it in the interview as well, is how this all felt like just one long continuous take. And so because of that, people had to enter into the scene at a very specific time. Set pieces had to move like in or like hide in the back so that they can go in at a different time. So yeah, there was such like a beautiful cacophony of music from
such a big
all
choreography,
ages, so much choreography. And despite it all being different, with like the drums, the like the blues guitar, the DJ, ballerinas,
and also like there were two Asian actors in this specific juke joint at this time that were in a separate room. He was playing cards, I think, at this time. We go into the room in this same sequence, and we have some Asian representation from the past in that room as well,
dancing
like right behind him. And then we move away from him. There is no more that because he's exactly there.
And it built it, like the music truly builds up so much that you like feel it in your chest. And I think especially when we were watching it in IMAX, I definitely felt it because of, you know, obviously like how loud it is. But it was just, it built up so much, and you just were overwhelmed by it. And Sammy's voice was like the thing that tied it all together. I have it saved on my Spotify playlist. I listen to it quite a bit because it's just so beautiful. It's definitely one of my favorites.
And it better win like best song or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it was so well done. I've heard no one say anything bad about it.
Yeah,
like
not
that scene just has stuck out so much.
Yeah. And then at the end of the scene, the juke joint starts burning down, and it's so amazing. And you think that when the fire catches, the scene is ending because the music kind of quiets down. But it's actually because we're leaving the juke joint, and you start pulling away from it, and you see it's all burned down to the ground.
Not really, but like metaphorically.
It could be, but then you see that no one's reacting to it. Everyone's just still vibing.
Yeah.
And you see that everyone is still the same as if the juke joint was fine. Even like Cornbread at the door just sitting there when there is no wall. It was just such a magical scene.
Yeah.
And if you want to know some details about that scene, make sure you look at our interview next week.
Definitely.
Because we have some info on that as well.
I mean, there is that phrase, like, you burn the house down.
Yeah.
Like, that legitimately is what it felt like, definitely.
And as you pull out from the burning juke joint, you finally see the 3 vampires coming to the scene, hearing this magical moment that was so important for Sammy's character, but also it's what brought it all down.
Yeah. That moment is the catalyst for the horror that ends up taking place at the end of the film.
I also want to talk about the fact that Michael B. Jordan played 2 characters that were so well defined.
I know.
That there's going to be thousands of people, younger people mostly, that will think that there's two Michael
It's like the Parent Trap all over again.
Michael B. Jordans,
where you just think that Lindsay Lohan definitely has a sister.
Yeah, there were definitely 2 of them. I swear.
Of them. It is the same thing, and it goes more than just their hats. I did laugh a little when I saw it.
Yeah,
they're 2 entirely different hats that they wear
and color schemes.
Yeah, but seriously, they were different people.
Like it's insane to a point that one of them felt like the older brother, like older brother.
Yeah,
but they're twins. Like, Smoke felt like the older brother.
I know.
Down to the earth.
He had this seriousness. Like, you could see almost that, like, his back was, like, always straight. His jaw was, like... I don't know how to explain this. It was just, like... He wasn't smiling. He was, like, serious.
Stack was the lousy one.
Stack was the one that was going off laughing.
Yeah.
Seemed to be the more carefree
And then
brother.
Also the thing about... I think it was Smoke that... killed the father because he will always hit Stack.
Yeah. So you get a lot of detail and background on them as well. So.
I love this one scene. There's a bunch of good scenes for character development, but this one where then Stack is in the car with Smoke with Sammy, and Sammy goes, "Is it true that you guys killed your dad?" And he's like, "Oh no, we didn't kill our dad. Smoke did."
And knowing Smoke, like, it's not surprising.
Yeah.
Like, you can just, like, tell that, like, he's the harder brother, and he would go the extra mile.
Yeah, so he was always, like, the older brother when they were kids, but then that developed even more because he had a kid. He had a baby that was there no more. There
was such sweet backstory that we got on these characters. And you just really, you fell in love with them, fell in love with these, like, love stories that you were, like, glimpsing. And I feel that made the horror at the end of the film more justified.
Yeah.
Because you actually felt saddened and disheartened when certain characters started dying. AKA going and becoming a vampire. Or actually dying, because a few of them did actually die.
Like, I was very sad because we had been in this whole journey with the twins. I actually felt something when Stack died.
Yeah. Well,
died.
Dying.
And then at the end, it was just, you thought everything was calm, but it's just this feeling of, like, they're never gonna leave you alone. And then Smoke dies.
Yeah. So I honestly, like, I was left with, like, this feeling of, like, I just got to know these people, and they're still so young, and felt like they were at the cusp of something great. To then have it all taken down by someone that felt like they would somehow fit with him better than how they were living. Like, that was so heartbreaking. And I did see some people saying that it was kind of like almost like a metaphor for assimilation, and how it can take you away from what was already so special about your moment, and like the danger of falling into that and, like, kind of losing that bit of yourself.
But then there was also just a lot of peace actually seeing him go to his kid. It was beautiful at the end. And then I want to point out, it's, like, kind of mentioned, but you really ignore it. Slim started making money with his music. and this is the story that he's telling us in the car after he sees the other guys being enslaved. He was making money with his music, but no one cared that he had money because he was just drinking it. And he tells us, this is what I did with my money.
Right.
So no one batted an eye. His friend, on the other hand, wanted to do something with his life and like start a business or like actually become someone with the money he was making from it. And he got killed because they don't want to see you thrive.
Right.
And if they see you as a threat, you will get killed.
Yeah.
And I think that's a little small detail, but there's just so many moments that give you a glimpse into their lives, into their pasts, that I think was so well done on Ryan Coogler's part.
It was so much more than just a vampire film. It really stuck with you. There's so much you can dive into. And there's so many more interviews that I want to watch about kind of why he wrote the story.
Yeah.
Because as far as I know, it was based on like personal experiences or thoughts or opinions on himself and his own history. And so I just love to know even more. Because it surpassed genre expectations tenfold. And even one of the interviews that I showed you, it was the Academy Awards YouTube page that was interviewing the producer, cinematographer. So I hope that implies
that they're gonna get a couple things
that they can get nominated.
Yeah.
Horror often is not ever nominated.
But this is not horror. This is
so much
something
more.
New. This is something new.
So much new. So yeah, I would love to see it.
Because as I mentioned, we watched it twice in theaters. We're definitely gonna watch it again soon
on digital, probably.
On digital,
as soon as it's on streaming, like.
But even after watching it twice, I've heard people that have watched it 4 times and keep learning new things every time they watch it. And that's, I think, how this movie is for everyone. The more you watch it, the more you learn.
Just saying, we learned so much in our interview with Jesse Rosenthal that I want to watch it again just so I could try to pick out every pinpoint those things he told us about.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, you let us know what you think of this movie. As you can tell, we absolutely loved it. I give it a 5 out of 5 clapping boards.
Yes, 100% 5.
Please make sure you let us know what you think. Please let us know how many times you watched it. If you have any more information or details that we didn't touch in here, maybe we do a second part if there's enough people wanting more information. But thank you so much for being here one more time. You can follow me on Instagram at sebi.mp4.
And you can follow me at caitlin.mp4.
You can follow our podcast on Instagram at ncotthepodcast. If you're watching right now on YouTube, this is also a podcast on all podcast platforms as ncot!! If you're on those platforms right now, you can watch us on YouTube, the recording of this, as That Film Couple. You can also find us on TikTok as That Film Couple, and you can find us on Twitch as Sebas1K. That being it, thank you so much for joining us one more time, and we'll see you in the next one. And cut!
Thank you so much for watching this episode.
You can follow us on all social media as NCOT the Podcast, and additionally, you can find us on YouTube and TikTok as That Film Couple for vlogs and extra content. You can also follow me on Instagram as sebi.mp4 and on Twitch as sebasparra1k.
And you can follow me at caitlin.mp4 on Instagram as well.
My name is Sebastian.
And my name is Caitlin.
And this is
And Cut!